welcome to the SupaTeaPodcastShow. So, if you are new here, I stream on two devices, on two platforms every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Sharp. So, I stream on my YouTube channel and I also stream on my TikTok channel. And what I really appreciate about YouTube, because after I finish this stream, I am able to just upload it, add something into the description and upload it. It takes a little bit to process it because typically my lives are past an hour. This is the Soulful Sunday series where we go into this book right here, Seed of the Soul. I know it looks opposite to you guys. You guys just have to bear with me as I work with the tech stuff. I'm pretty sure there's a way for me to mirror the video where this will actually be on this side and then you'll be able to actually see what this book says. But now, in the right way, I want you just to use your imagination, you know, and apply some brain power and see that this is the book. The title is Seed of the Soul, and we deep dive because it's Soulful Sunday. However, I also chit chat before I go into the book. So it has. It is at it's a new week, number one. So I like the fact that I start off the week doing something positive and sharing something positive with the world. And what I particularly like about YouTube is the fact that once I complete the live, it is available for everybody to see live. However, I've shared this with you all before of how I live my life. I live my life with my core and with my compass being my soul, the bigger part of me. So I like to say, because it is true, that I am multilingual when it comes to spirituality. So I can sit and I can communicate with various different people from various different spiritual backgrounds, but communicate fluently. And that's because of the energy. I am an empath. I do my own spiritual work. And so therefore, for me, it is not difficult for me to communicate with others who are a part of different traditions. I had a beautiful day yesterday with people of a different tradition. And so I enjoy it. I enjoy it. And there's a good brother, you know, Michael Beckwith, who also has that ability. If he's older, he's more practiced in a lot of different areas, especially spirituality, because spirituality is, I want to say, not only his core, but, you know, it's just, it's a lot. It's everything, you know, it drives everything. And I think living a life like that is really a wholesome way to live. It does not look the same for everybody because everybody is different. We all are unique. But to live your life from your own authenticity and to acknowledge the bigger part of yourself, I feel is just the way to exist. Because when you are authentic with yourself, you're not changing any part of yourself that you don't want to change because somebody else tells you to change it. You just embracing all of you authentically and acknowledging the bigger part of yourself authentically, which is your soul. Yes. So when I get directions, since that is how I live my life, I follow them. So and the bigger part of me, when I say the bigger part of me, the God in me, divinity, however you want to call it, that intelligence that is keeping the planet that we all are on. We all are on the same planet here, right? We all on Earth, right? Even if we on different parts of the Earth, we all can agree that we are on Earth. We all know that Earth is orbiting in what they call space. It's part of the universe. We all know that it's not just sitting up there by itself. We all know that there is an intelligent force that is keeping it up there afloat. It's keeping it from not crashing into the other planets, you know? That intelligent force right there that some people call God, some people call Jehovah. People have different names for this intelligent force that is omnipotent and is everywhere. Okay? I like to call it divinity. I like to call it the bigger part of me. That's what I like to call it. You can call it whatever you want to call it. The force is the force. We know that it exists. We can agree that that force exists. We can agree that there is something that's intelligent that is keeping our planet that we on right now, called Earth, afloat and not crashing it into Mars or crashing it into any other planets up there. We could agree on that. So I'm grateful for that intelligent force. And when I get directives, because that intelligent force is a part of everything and everybody, hey, Brittany, that intelligent force can speak through anybody. And when you have the ears to hear, you recognize when it's the intelligent force speaking because it resonates with your own, with you inside somewhere special. So I got some instructions, people, that I should not only be reading on my podcast for Soulful Sundays, that I should also share one of my other gifts. Now, I just got this directive about 20 minutes ago. I had to get up, put on something, because I was in my bed, butt ass naked. I had to make me some coffee, brush my teeth. Yes, I had to do all of that. Hey, Papa, welcome to Soulful Sunday here with me, the host of SupaTea Podcast Show. And so 20 minutes to do all of that, make coffee, sprinkle some water, face, brush teeth, put some clothes on. That's a little bit of time, okay? That's a little bit of time to be like, oh, what song am I going to sing? So I was prompted that I should share one of my other gifts, which is my vocals. So what came to me was Funny Valentine for some reason. And I may jack up the words. And this is the very first Soulful Sunday that I'm going to introduce music into the episode. But as I was preparing for this episode, like literally, I just like putting on my clothes, preparing. I was like, I think it's a good idea to start before I read with a song and right before I close with a song. So I'm gonna stay in the jazz area, and I have more of jazz to explore. But I'm gonna do Funny Valentine to the best of my recollection of the lyrics. Without a background. It's all going to be a cappella. And so I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. Then I'm going to jump right in. And I might chat a little bit afterwards. And then we're going to dive right into the book. Because we are reading this book together consecutively. And if you miss a live, hey, you got it, Papa. If you miss a live on TikTok, you can always go back and catch the replays on my YouTube channel. Same name, same account, the SupaTea Podcast Show. All right. This coffee's so good. So good. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Your looks are laughable, unforgettable, yet you're my favorite work of art. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me Smile with my heart. Ooh. Okay, that's about all the words I know. We're gonna dive right into the book now. Thank you. Thank you for listening while you work, Brittany. Oh, that's Brit. Oh, that is Brit. I remember Brittany. Brittany was here for my first episode back, my first consistent episode back, and we did that episode on loved ones that are dealing with substance abuse, and it was a very good show, and I've been here every week since that week, which was like, we're on chapter 6 now, so that was 7 weeks ago. My God, that was like at the beginning of my summer semester. Summer semester is already over. I'm a full-time student, and fall semester is about to start September 2nd. Yeah, next week. So yeah. So I have been reading from Seed of the Soul, and I'm gonna dive in. And next week I'll be better prepared with your music numbers, okay? But I do want to stay in jazz because I've been invited to do a song of Dinah Washington, and Dinah Washington kind of creeped me out a bit. Hey, Erica Day, because yeah, I ain't gonna go into it. I'm just gonna go into the book. Today we are at chapter 6, Light. And as always, I mean, everything is connected indeed. But as always, I had to experience purposely. I mean, of course, naturally, my light, because of the internal work that I have done and that I am doing with myself, my light is already luminous. However, I had to purposely, like, really tap into that force, tap into my light, because there was, darkness. So let me tell you about my week before I go into the book. Hey, Lala. Wednesday morning, I got up, and I had a missed call, not even a message, a missed call from a young man that I call my nephew. And the reason why I call him my nephew, because me and his mother, we met when we were both teen moms inside of a group home, a mother and child group home. And thank you for the gifts, girl. And when I saw that he had sent me when I saw a missed call on my social media, I was like, what's this about? So I was like, first I was happy. I was like, oh, hey, let's go Dre. I went onto his page. And when I went onto his page, this is before 9 o'clock, okay? I had to be in school at 9 o'clock, okay? And so this is like maybe 8, might have been 7:30. I'm on his page and I see all these comments like, I can't believe my mother is gone, and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, his mother's gone. And I'm like, maybe she's in a hospital. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe he jumped to conclusion. Maybe she's in a hospital or something. Let me call her. I call her phone. Her phone rings. And I'm like, okay. Last time I called her phone, it went to voicemail. So, which was Sunday. I think it was last Sunday. So now, again, this is Wednesday of this week. And when I hear it ring again, I'm like, oh, she's fine. She's in a hospital, maybe, whatever. That was the thought that was in my brain. And so, but I'm like, well, why would he say that? So I said, let me find her sister. So I found her sister on social media, and I sent her a message, and I give her my phone number, and she calls me like right back. She calls me like within 5 minutes, and she tells me that my friend, that we were close, like sisters, not always keeping in contact throughout all of these years. She went her direction, I went my direction, but we would always somehow come back together. Always, always, always. So she was a friend that I would consider a lifetime friend, and we had plans. We had freaking plans. And just last Sunday, I was like, she was going to be one of my bridesmaids, whatever, whatever. I don't talk too much about my romantic stuff, but it's good. It's good. It's going good. And I'm not going to because he is my bestie and I respect his wishes, But I was saying, that part. I was like, this is going to be one of my bridesmaids. Lala going to be one of my bridesmaids, I was like, trying to figure out who's going to be my 5 bridesmaids, That's what I was doing last Sunday. And she has a birthday that's coming up September 19th. And we made plans. We're going to the comedy club. She's very, very funny. And she was like, I'm a little nervous. But I'm like, girl, you got this. You got this. There's a comedy club in Manhattan where they have open mics every evening. I found out about it, and I've been wanting to do it. But I'm like, she's the perfect person to do it with. So we planned to do that. She was supposed to start working for US Open, something that she does every year when they come to the city around this time. She works for them the whole time that they're here. So like we've been talking and making these plans. She just went into her new apartment. I'm in my new place. We're like, yeah, okay, like shit is happening, girl. Like, we went through all of these things, and so I was just like, that's what was in the forefront of my mind. So when I talked to the sister, and the sister told me, confirmed that she indeed had passed, but she didn't tell me how. She didn't tell me anything but the fact that she was passed and that she would keep me updated. And I said, okay. And I went to school. Dealt with school, got back from school, and I was talking to Lala, so Lala knows all of the details, all the details ain't none of y'all business. But what I can say is that by the end of the day, I was angry after I got off the phone with the sister. I was angry. I was like, I fucking dare you. What the fuck? Wait a fucking minute. You just go leave after we made plans and shit. You just go up and go. Oh, that's what we're doing. Go back. I literally, that was the process. Go back. I'm gonna need you to go back. Maybe, whatever. You go back. Love you too. I love you too, sister. I was like, go back. You go back. Can you do that? Because we had plans. What they talking about? It's not. Again, I went to school. I detached, but I still carried that with me all day. So now it's after 4. I get back home, and I'm like thinking, because on her page, I will share this part, on her page, on my friend's page, my sister's page, there's all these posts from this person, and the person is posting like everything was all good with them, and I knew that everything was not all good with them. So now I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Everything was not all good with y'all. You totally disrespected my friend. You totally disrespected my sister. You put your hands on her. Not only did you put your hands on her, you kicked open and damaged her property. You was wilding out. You was wilding out. And now, about 4, 6 maybe weeks after that situation, she ain't here no more. And the day that everybody found out, supposedly, because I don't know when everybody found out, but I'm assuming everybody found out the same day. Okay? That same day, you are posting like, oh, we besties. Oh, everybody know we were mad cool. But wait. When I spoke to her on the 9th of this month and asked her, has she spoken to you? Y'all still hadn't spoken to each other. Y'all wasn't mad cool. So what's going on? What's going on? And that's where I went dark. And I got angry, and I couldn't even stay still. So I took my ass over there. Well, I couldn't go to her place because I didn't know her apartment. But I went to the city that she lives in. And I figured once I got over there, I could find out the address and find out what's going on. Nobody wanted to give me the address. Nobody wanted to give me the address that night, Wednesday night. So I end up taking an Uber from her city and state. We don't live in the same city and state. Back to my city and state. I'm exhausted. I'm angry. I'm hurt. I done cried randomly. I done cried on the way there. I done cried on the way back. I just was beyond words of describing. Upset is the best word. No, I wasn't upset. I was infuriated. I was infuriated. I was beyond upset. I was infuriated. I was infuriated. I was infuriated. And that infuriation carried on to Thursday. Thursday I got up and I had to be at school again. And so I went to school and I was talking to those close to me so they know how I felt about everything. And then I got connected. So again, we met when we were teenagers. We was in a circle of girlfriends and mothers. So one of the girls that was in our circle, her name is Cosette. I let her know immediately what was going on. She also was like, wait a fucking minute, this shit not making no sense. And so once, after the group home, we went different directions. And when we reconnected in my late 20s, almost 30s, there was another group of girls, another group of us. And so now I'm talking to the next group. And the next group, they like releasing balloons the next day that they found out she passed away. So again, the infuriation, even though I know better not to stay in that space, so I purposely found things to be appreciative of. I purposely found things to put my attention on outside of that, obviously. But I kept being pulled there. And so now I'm like, I'm on the phone with the other girl from the second circles, another chapter in our lives. So teenagers where we meet, then we re-meet again almost in our 30s, so we know a little bit more about life, not much. We know much more about life, but we were, we had different experiences that we had learned from, whatever. So those girls, I'm talking to one of them, and she like, yeah, I just found out about what happened, and yeah, that's strange, but I'm gonna go and to them, and we gonna find out, and we gonna all talk on the phone together. But I was too infuriated. See, the first night I hadn't even talked with her, and I got so infuriated that I went to this. I went over there, okay, and they wouldn't give me the address. So now I have it. This the next day, and I said, I know me. I'm going to turn off my telephone because I am already infuriated, and they're going to say some stupid ass, dumb ass fucking shit. And I'm going to forget about all of the good stuff for a moment, because while I was infuriated, I forgot about the good stuff. I forgot about the good stuff that's happening in my life, because I said, this is my friend, and they ain't going to do her like that. They're not. And I would have went over there again, and it would have not been good, and it would have not been pretty. So I turned off my phone, and I prayed, and I meditated, and I relaxed, and I put my attention elsewhere. I put my attention towards the light. I started remembering, look at what you have going on. Look at what's going on in your life. You have all this good stuff. This la that's on here right now. We are working on something right now. You understand? I got so much good that's happening in my life right now. That is the light. That I could not sacrifice that good for an emotion. I had to go through that emotion. I had to feel that emotion totally all the way, and then I had to release it, and then I had to beg for help on how to releasing it, because when I prayed, I released it Friday morning. Oh shit, I was mad again. Every time I talked about it, I got mad. I'm a Taurus. I don't know if y'all into zodiacs, but my mad is a different mad. This happy me, this joyful me, there is a complete opposite of it. There is a complete shadow to it, and I'm aware of it. Okay? It's been with me my whole life, and I haven't got rid of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of who I am, but I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I know I know where I know me. I know me, you know. So I know. And I had to step away again. I had to consciously go into the light. I had to consciously go into the light. Exactly. Absolutely correct, Lala. And so I had to go into the light. So it's interesting that this chapter that we're going into today is entitled Light. And yesterday was a light filled day. I went out to Harlem to a convention, a convention of elders that are professionals and very, very, very dedicated and devoted to their spiritualism. And you know, it was good. It was good. I trooped it out there. So I brought out my jewelry. As you see, I have a new piece on. This was a piece that I was. It's intertwined with my old piece. Oh, they married. No, Lisa. It has intertwined. I made the infinity sign with some crystals. So, you know, I worked. I worked all of Friday making jewelry. I had stuff left over from when my cafe was open. So I dug it all out. I dug it all out. I got everything together. If you go on to my, where did I share that? I think I shared it in my Instagram. Go to my Instagram, you can see my auntie. She lives out in Harlem, so I told her I was coming out there, and she came. She came to the event. The event was all day. The event went from 8:30 to 6 o'clock. Now I didn't get out there at 8:30. I got out there around 11 because I'm coming all the way from Jersey, and I was tugging on public transportation with all of this stuff. But I got out there. I set up, and you know I held it down all the way to the end. Now, I was tired as fuck at the end. I didn't leave it till like around 9 o'clock. Okay. Because the thing went over. And then it took time to pack up. And then my auntie, you know, she's 72. So, you know, we just had a time. We had a good time. I got home and I rested most of the day. But it was a light-filled day. When I tell you it was a light-filled day, it was a light-filled day. These sisters, these wise women that is devoted to their spirituality, they could see me, you know. And those who are happy with themselves were happy to see me. And those who weren't happy with themselves were not happy to see me. But they were only a few, baby, okay? It was only a few of them like that, okay? And I saw them, and they saw me, and I kept it smiling and moving, okay? Because listen, I'm me. I'm happy with me. Shoot, y'all don't even know the fucking week I had, okay? So listen, I know not to take, if I could get through the week that I had, because I was intentional about getting through the week that I had and not take it out on anybody. I didn't take it out on anybody, even when I rode out there. When I rode out there on that train Wednesday night, upset, I did not take out my anger, because my anger is towards this situation. My anger ain't towards the world. My anger towards this situation. And you know somebody decided to fuck with me on my ride the fuck out there. Excuse my language. Can I cuss on here? I don't know. But I be cussing. I be using profanity, people. So if I got a little bit too authentic, hopefully I'm not filtered out. We'll see. Okay, I'm still here. I think I'm okay. But yeah. Oh yeah. A black man. A black young man. Yes, he did. He told me to suck phalluses and all type of stuff. All because I looked at him after he bumped into me. I just looked at him. And he looking at me. And I'm like, I'm looking at you. It was like he was looking at me like, why am I looking at him? Remember, I speak energy. So he didn't have to say it. The hold of the stare said it. It was like confusion, like, why are you looking at me, ma'am? And I was like, I'm looking at you. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to articulate to him why I'm looking at him. I'm looking at you because you bumped into me. Okay. And all you had to say was excuse me. Oh no. Excuse me. I ain't saying no excuse me. It's funny now. But I just kept looking at him. I was like, you're not saying it. Why? That's like saying I'm sorry. I ain't sorry. It was an accident. Okay, it was an accident. So you are sorry because you didn't intend to do it. Oh no, I'm not a sorry person. You know what? You just think your opinion posed to. I mean, he went in and I just was like, sir, it ain't that serious. A simple excuse me and our interaction would have ended. You need to shut the fuck up. No, I'm not gonna shut up. Why are you acting like that? What is wrong with you? Well, what is wrong with you? You on the train. People bump into each other on the train. So he was telling on himself. Imagine how many people bumped into him and didn't say excuse me to him. And he didn't have the gumption to say anything to them. You know? But it was a different situation. We're not on a crowded train. There's space. You're sitting next to me. You could, sir. He cussed and fussed, but the interesting part was I stayed calm. You know I was infuriated. I'm sharing with you guys how the emotion that I was carrying, but I was carrying that emotion not towards the world. I was carrying that emotion towards the situation. I don't know that young man. To me, he's a young man. So, and a young black man. I'm a mother of a young black man. So when I see young black men, I see not replicas, but I see somebody else's son. That's what I see. I don't see thug and all these things that society try to tell us about these men, these black men. I see somebody else's son. When I see these young black girls, or young black women, I see somebody else's daughter. That's what I see when I look at them. I don't see them, even if they acting a fucking fool. I see who they are beneath that. So that's what I saw, and I kept talking to him. I talked to him till he got off the train. and he cussed at me the whole time. He cussed at me the whole time. I just was sitting there calm. I was sitting there calm. And I sat there calm. And so I shared that to say that when you are upset at a situation, you can keep that emotion towards, or experience that emotion. I won't say keep it, because you shouldn't hold it. But while that emotion is there towards that situation, that doesn't mean when you have another interaction with somebody that you throw it at them. That ain't right. That ain't fair. And that's not responsible. It's not responsible for you to take your emotions and throw it at random motherfuckers. It's just saying. It ain't responsible at all. Do your inner work. Know yourself. Know what if you upset, okay, it's all right. It's all right for you to be upset. What are you upset at? You upset at a situation? Are you upset at a person? If you upset at a person, or you upset at a situation, okay, you haven't worked through it yet, okay, that's where it belongs. It belongs over there. It don't belong to the whole world. The whole world ain't doing you shit. The whole world ain't fucking you over. You are upset at a situation or an individual, or maybe a group of individuals. Whatever the scenario is, it ain't the whole freaking world. So you don't have the right to take your stuff and throw it at random people. You don't have the right to take your negativity and throw it at random people. You want to throw something at random people? Throw your love at random people. Throw your hope at random people. Throw your light. Throw that at random people. But do not be throwing your mess at random people. And sometimes you got to process that mess and see whether you need to throw it at anybody. Because sometimes you just need to transmute it and let the shit go. But we're going to jump into the book now and see what the book got to say about light. The soul is not physical, yet it is the force field of your being. The higher self is not physical, yet it is the living template of the evolved human, the fully awakened personality. The experience of intuition cannot be explained in terms of the five senses because it is the voice of the non-physical world. So I know you came in a little late, Lala, but I was explaining to people that there is an intelligence. There is an invisible intelligence, and people call it God, people call it divinity, people have different names for this intelligence. But there is an intelligent force that is keeping the planet that we all are on in orbit. And that intelligent force is not just outside of us, it's also inside of us. So I'm going to continue with the book now. Therefore, it is not possible to understand your soul or your higher self or your intuition without coming to terms with the existence of non-physical reality. Knowing in the cognitive sense cannot produce proof of non-physical reality any more than it can produce proof of God. Proof of non-physical reality does not exist in the dimension that the rational mind seeks it. Therefore, when you ask from the perspective of the five sensory personality, does non-physical reality exist? What you really are asking is, if I cannot prove the existence of non-physical reality, do I decide that it is nonsensical? Do I decide there is no answer? Or do I expand myself to the level at which the answer can be given? When a mind asks a question that suggests a different level of truth, no matter what the question, expansion has already been the way of the sciences, the pursuer of truth. At one time, in our evolution, for example, the question was asked, are there forms of life that are smaller than the eye can see? From the five sensory perception, the answer was no. Someone did not accept that answer, and the microscope was invented. Then the question, do parts of nature exist that are smaller than what we can see through a microscope, was asked, and again, from the five sensory perception, the answer was no. But we did not stop, and instead discovered and developed a rich understanding of atomic and subatomic phenomena. As we created the tools to see, that which was once considered non-existent became existent. But we had to expand first. The challenge in the task for the advanced or the expanding mind is to expand to a level at which questions that cannot be answered from within the accepted understanding of truth can be answered. What is non-physical reality? Non-physical reality is your home. You come from non-physical reality. You will return to non-physical reality. And the larger part of you currently resides in and evolves in non-physical reality. The same is true for each of the billions of human beings upon this planet. Therefore, the majority of your interactions with other human beings occur in non-physical reality. For example, this is why me and Lala be cooking so easy. So easy. For example, when you think loving thoughts of someone who is close to you emotionally, such as a family member, you shift the quality of your consciousness. And this contributes to his or her energy system. If a daughter who harbors resentment towards her father, for example, evolves into a deeper understanding of her relationship with him, such as an understanding of the karmic role that he has played in activating within her a major lesson of love or responsibility, and if her intention to heal herself in her relationship with her father is deep and clear, do not think, even for an instant, that her father is not aware of this, even if she doesn't speak to him. He is not aware consciously, but his whole being feels what she is doing. His conscious mind may feel it through sudden moments of sentimentalism. Okay, that was a tongue full. Sentimentalism about things that he had not thought about before. Or he may suddenly look at pictures of his daughter as a young child and feel a pull in his heart, even though he's not consciously aware of why he is feeling what he is feeling or doing what he is doing. You participate in this form of data bank exchange, so to speak, with all the souls that you are close to, and to some extent with all the souls that touch your life. As you shift your data bank content and the information that you send to a soul, it is processed through his or her own system. It is at that level that the cause and effect of your intentions, the way that you choose to shape your energy, influences others. How does this happen? You are a system of light, as are all beings. The frequency of your light depends upon your consciousness. When you shift the level of your consciousness, you shift the frequency of your light. If you choose to forgive someone who has wronged you, for example, rather than to hate that person, you shift the frequency of your light. If you choose to feel affection or kinship with a person rather than distance or coldness, you shift the frequency of your light. Emotions are currents of energy with different frequencies. Emotions that we think of as negative, such as hatred, envy, disdain, and fear, have a lower frequency and less energy than emotions that we think of as positive, such as affection, joy, love, and compassion. When you choose to replace a lower frequency current of energy, such as anger, with a higher frequency current, such as forgiveness, you raise the frequency of your light. When you choose to allow higher frequency currents of energy to run through your system, you experience more energy. When a person is despairing, for example, or anxious, he or she feels physically depleted because he or she has merged with an energy current of low frequency. A person in this situation becomes heavy and dull, whereas a joyous person abounds with energy, feels buoyant, because he or she is running a higher frequency current of energy through his or her system. Different thoughts create different emotions. Thoughts of vengeance, violence, greed, or thoughts of using others, for example, creates emotions such as anger, hatred, jealousy, and fear. I'm gonna stop right there. So that was the experience that I had this week. From Wednesday and Thursday and a little bit of my Friday was vengeance. I felt vengeance. I felt like I had to vindicate and stand up for somebody because they're not physically here. But I also know that the bigger part of us is non-physical. So if I know the bigger part of us is non-physical, just because they ain't physically here doesn't mean that they're not able to stand up and defend themselves, because the bigger part of them is non-physical anyway. So the fact that their physical body ain't here doesn't mean that they ain't gonna stand up. They gonna stand up. Exactly. They gonna stand up. So I don't have to be the one to do it. You understand? I process, release. And that's what I had to do. So I had to release that anger. And I had to forgive the people that I was angry at. And I had to forgive the whole situation. We'll get back to the book. Those are low frequency currents of energy. and therefore they lower the frequency of your light or consciousness. Creative or loving or caring thoughts invoke high frequency emotions such as appreciation, forgiveness, and joy. And those emotions raise the frequency of your system. If your thoughts are thoughts that draw low frequency energy currents to you, your physical and emotional attitudes will deteriorate, and emotional or physical disease will follow. Whereas thoughts that draw high frequency energy currents to you create physical and emotional health. Lower frequency systems pull energy from higher frequency systems. That was another thing too. I said they're not about to pull my energy, because what they doing? What they doing? Back to my good friend slash sister. What they doing? They found her on a Wednesday, and on a Thursday, everybody at her house, in her space. What y'all doing? What kind of witchcraft y'all doing? What y'all doing? Because witchcraft ain't negative or positive, but depending on who is applying it, what y'all doing? What y'all doing? All y'all in her house the very next day you found her body? What y'all doing? Yeah, I'm not about to come and put mm-mm. I'm not about to draw from this energy. Y'all, what y'all got is what y'all got. Y'all ain't getting no more. Love y'all, bye. Love y'all, bye. I'm gonna let her deal with y'all. She gonna deal with y'all. She gonna deal with y'all. Don't think she ain't dealing with y'all. She gonna deal with y'all, okay? And leave it like that. Back to the book. Lower frequency systems pull energy from higher frequency systems. If you are unaware of your emotions and your thoughts, your frequency will be lowered by. You will lose energy to a system of lower frequency than your own. We say, for example, that a depressed person is draining, or that he or she sucks up energy. A system of sufficiently high frequency will soothe or calm or refresh you because of the effect of the quality of its light upon your system. Such a system is radiant. By choosing your thoughts and by selecting which emotional currents you will release and which you will reinforce, you determine the quality of your light. You determine the effects that you will have upon others and the nature of the experiences of your life. I'm going to take a pause right there. So, the way people feel when they interact with me is not a separate type of thing, because everybody feel like that. Everybody feel like that. It is very few people, and the few people who don't feel like that, it has nothing to deal with me though. But social worker feel like that. Professors feel like that. Head of security feels like that. These people, because my light illuminates their own light. And that's how it is. When you determine the frequency of your own light, it has influence, and in a positive way, with other people. And that's true power. That's true power right there. But I'm going to get back into the book. Light represents consciousness. When we do not understand a thing, we say that we must bring it to light. If we are confused, we say that our process needs more light. When a sudden idea reorders our thoughts, we say that the light came on. And when a person is fully conscious, we say that he or she is enlightened. That's what Christ was. Christ was fully conscious. And that's what the terminology Christ and Buddha means. It is not only one individual. There are many Christs, because to be Christ means to be enlightened. And for Christ to return on the planet means that more individuals are enlightened. That's what that means. When you release a negative thought or a negative feeling, you release lower frequency currents of energy from your system. And this literally allows an increase in the frequency of your consciousness. Thinking of the universe in terms of light frequencies and energies of different frequencies in the terms that have become familiar to us through the study of physical light is not merely metaphorical. It is a natural and powerful way to think of the universe because physical light is a reflection of non physical light. Physical light is not the light of your soul. Physical light travels at a certain velocity. It cannot go faster. The light of your soul is instantaneous. There's no time between a daughter's loving intention towards her father and the soul of her father understanding that intention. Instantaneous. Therefore, it's very much a part of your life and non-physical reality. The decisions that you make in terms of how you choose to use your energy have effects that are instantaneous. They are one with who and what you are. Energies that emanate from your soul have instantaneousness to them. Energies that emanate from your personality follow the path of physical light. Fear, for example, is an experience of the personality. The soul can be confused and away from light, but it does not experience fear. If the soul experiences an absence of light from a part of itself, the personality will experience this absence of light as fear. That fear is of the personality and therefore of space and time. Unconditional love is of the soul, instantaneous, universal, not bound. Just as visible light is one portion like an octave and a continuum of energy. Forgive me. That's like the second time I got tongue-tied. Of graduated frequencies that extend below and above what the eye can see. The continuum of non-physical light extends below and above, so to speak, the frequency range in which the human exists. The human experience is a particular frequency range in the continuum of non-physical light, in the same way that visible light is a particular frequency range in the continuum of physical light. Other intelligences inhabit other ranges of frequency. These forms of life do not exist elsewhere from us, just as an infrared light, ultraviolet light, microwave light, and many, many other frequencies and ranges of frequencies coexist with the visible light spectrum, but are invisible to us. The life forms that are characterized by different frequency ranges of non-physical light coexist with us, but are invisible to us. In the place that you now sit exist many different beings or groups of beings, each active and evolving in its own reality in its own way. These realities commingle with yours in the same way that microwave radiation exists alongside of visible light, but undetectable to the human eye. Our species is evolving from one frequency range in the spectrum of non-physical light into another, higher range of frequency. This is the evolution of the five-sensory personality into the multi-sensory personality. The multi-sensory personality is more radiant and energetic than the five-sensory personality. It is aware of the light of its soul and is able to detect and to communicate with forms of life that are invisible to the five-sensory personality. The universe is a hierarchy that has no bottom and no top. Between the levels of the hierarchy, there is an understanding that higher perceptions can be part of and are encouraged to be part of the experience of lower plane spirits as they strive to expand their own awareness. Thus, there's always a higher level of assistance. You are involved in this process, although your personality is unaware of this because it done at the level of your soul. There is much that the five sensory personality is unaware of, and much that even a fully empowered multi-sensory personality will not remember until at the end of its life. It returns to non-physical reality. You are not aware of the many lifetimes of the past and future personalities of your soul, for example, but the intensity of parts of your being derives directly from these lifetimes, just as do some of your relationships. If an aspect of your being manifests physically, such as the aspect of you as teacher or you as warrior, then there are connected non-physical aspects that are also active and participating in the teaching or the warring dynamic from the non-physical realms, of which you are a part and bonded to. The aspect of self that you bring to bear in a physical moment represents a force that is many, many times more significant and complex. Our non-physical assistant comes from ranges of non-physical light that are higher in frequency than our own. The intelligences that assist and guide us unconsciously in the case of the five sensory personality and consciously in the case of the multi-sensory personality are of a higher rank in creation than we, and therefore can provide us with a quality of guidance and assistance that we cannot give to each other. The five sensory personality associates rank within a hierarchy with graduated levels of worth, and it associates a lower rank within a hierarchy with less worth, less ability to control others, and more vulnerability. From the point of view of the universe, all the ranks of creations are of equal value. All are precious. When seen through authentically empowered eyes, a being with a higher rank in creation is one that has more ability to see without obstruction, more ability to live in love and wisdom, and more ability and desire to help others evolve into the same love and light. Each human soul has both guides and teachers. A guide is not a teacher. Guides are what might be thought of as experts in certain fields that are called in for consultation. If you're writing a book, for example, or creating a project or organizing an event, a guide that has the quality of warmth or creativity or insight that you wish to incorporate into your work is available to you. Teachers operate on a more personal plane of involvement, so to speak. Although they are impersonal energies that we personalize, that we feel a personal relationship with, a non-physical teacher brings you even closer to your soul. It draws your attention to the vertical path and to the difference between the vertical path and the horizontal path. The vertical path is the path of awareness. It's the path of consciousness and conscious choice. The person who chooses to advance his or her spiritual growth, to cultivate awareness of his or her higher self, is on a vertical path. The vertical path is the path of clarity. The potential for the creation of clarity and the experience of interacting with your non-physical teacher are one and the same. So, we are right now literally in a new moon type of time. So this is the time for you to really focus on what you want for yourself and be very intentional about it and be very clear about it and take practical steps towards it. However that looks for you. You know, your own spirit will tell you what that means. It could be taking a bath. It could be doing a simple ritual. There are so many different ways for you to acknowledge the bigger part of yourself, which is your soul. Which is your soul. And your soul knows things that you may not be able to put into words within your personality, but your soul knows things. And you always have guidance. You always have guidance. You always have teachers that are of a higher level of intelligence available to you. So whenever you get stuck with whatever is going on in life, you could call out. You could be like, I need some help with this. I need some help with that. And from the most complex things to the most simple things, okay? Like not remembering where you put something at. I do it all the time. I'll be forgetting where I put stuff at all the freaking time. And I'll be like, okay. Our girl was even looking at that thing. Cause you see I was in the book. Ow. Yeah, even like, yeah, I put stuff down. I don't remember where I put it down at. Where I put it at. I speak it out. And when I tell you I speak it out and I'm gently guided to where it's at, you can stop tapping. Stop tapping the screen, Lala. Thank you. She funny. I love her. So to my people over here at YouTube, remember I'm also doing a live stream on TikTok, and my friend is over there, sister is over there, tapping that screen. Stop tapping it. Don't you? And then you gonna put your fingers hurt. You gonna like it again? Stop tapping it. Just you could come in. Do you want to come in? She could come in over here. If you want to come in, you can say yes. You could come in. So that way you could just talk to me. You don't have to type nothing. And you'll be heard on the YouTube. So if you have any questions or you want to talk about anything that I've read, we could just interact directly. One person got you for... I know that's love, boopity boop. Do you want to come in? I think I have to send her an invite. Let me see if she want to come in. If she want to come in, she will accept it. Okay, now how the fuck I do it? I didn't press the button. I'm a guest. There we go. She said no. You don't want to come in. You don't have to show your face. I'm going to send her an invite anyway. You don't have to show your face. If you accept it, you accept it. If you don't, you don't. She came in. You could just talk. You could just chit-chat with me. Hey.
Hey, boo.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm loving this read. I'm loving it. I try to give some people some energy and try to invite them in to listen to this.
Nice. I appreciate you. I really do. So do you have any comments or anything that I've read so far, or?
No, actually you hit the point on everything that I think we discuss in our own way. We just don't put them in those words. Because we speak about this on a daily.
We do. We definitely do. So I got a little bit of this chapter. I stop in between here and there to go and talk and share my thoughts, So I'm gonna get back into the book. But thank you for coming in. And stay in. Don't go nowhere. So you can stay.
I'm not going nowhere.
All right. Cool. All right. The horizontal path is the path that satisfies your personality. A businessman or a businesswoman, for example, who devotes his or her life to the accumulation of money is on a horizontal path. No matter how diverse his or her ventures may become, they are essentially identical. If they make money, they please the personality. And if they lose money, they distress the personality. But they do not serve the higher self. They do not serve his or her spiritual growth. A person that seeks relationships only to gratify his or her own needs, such as his or her own emotional or sexual needs, will find that each relationship is essentially identical, that the people in his or her life are replaceable, that experiences with the first and the experiences with the second are essentially the same. This is the horizontal path. Each new experience is not really new. It's more of the same thing. To experience relationships of substance and depth requires approaching and entering into relationships with consciousness and concern for the other. This is the vertical path. This does not mean that learning does not occur in all situations, and that when a horizontal path is no longer appropriate to a soul's learning, the soul will not leave it behind. Sooner or later, each soul will turn towards authentic power. Every situation serves this goal, and every soul will reach it. The vertical path begins with the decision to do that consciously. Guides and teachers assist the soul in every phase of its evolution. The number of guides and teachers that a soul has depends on what it seeks to accomplish in its level of awareness. Souls that take upon themselves projects of more magnitude bring to themselves more assistance. Your soul knows its guides and teachers. It drew upon their wisdom and compassion in charting the incarnation that became you. And that part of your soul that is you will be gathered into their waiting arms when the incarnation that is you comes to an end, when you go home. You receive loving guidance and assistance at each moment. At each moment, you are prompted and encouraged to move into light. The decisions that you make are yours to make. A non-physical teacher cannot and would not live your life for you. It will assist you through the learning experiences of your life. The answers that it can provide you depends upon the questions that you ask. By questioning your own motivations, by praying or meditating and remaining open for the answer, or by asking directly, as in the case of the multi-sensory human that has developed this ability. When you ask one set of questions, one set of doorways open before you. And when you ask other questions, other doorways open. For each instant, your teacher or teachers will advise you with impersonal compassion and clarity. It will help you to examine the probable results of each choice that you make. It will touch your feelings in ways that bring your awareness to areas that need to be healed. It will answer your questions, but you must ask them and therefore give direction to your own energy. It will advise you as to which courses will most likely lead to which results. And it will continue to advise you with wisdom and compassion no matter what choices you make. A teacher can neither create nor remove karma for you. No being, not even a non-physical teacher, can assume responsibility for your life, for the way that you choose to use your energy. But a non-physical teacher can help you to understand what your choices and your experiences mean, represent. It can provide you with the knowledge that will allow you to choose responsibly and hopefully choose wisely. Therefore, the ability to draw consciously upon your non-physical guidance and assistance to communicate consciously with a non-physical teacher is a treasure that cannot be described, a treasure beyond words and beyond value. Each decision that you make either moves you towards your personality or towards your soul. Each decision that you make is an answer to the question, how do you choose, to learn love? How do you choose to learn authentic empowerment? Through doubt and fear or through wisdom? This is the heart of the Garden of Paradise story. The tree of truth given into the entire human species said, learn. Which way do you wish to learn? So you can learn through the doubt and fears, or you can learn through the wisdom. This is the ultimate first act of free will. How do you wish to learn? The question continues in every one of your life situations. It is the eternal question. It is the longest running show on Broadway, so to speak. No matter what situation, no matter what moment, the Garden of Eden question continues and continues and continues. Each time, the opportunity in every circumstance is, in miniature, is, will you choose the way of doubt and fear, or will you choose the tree of wisdom? That's the truth.com right here, because we all go through it. Shoot, I just this morning was going through my own different doubts and thoughts, because I just wanted yesterday to end a different way. You know what I'm saying? I wanted yesterday to just be, you know, I don't know. I just I wanted it in a different way, but it's not the time for that, and I got the full clarity of that today in a situation, because different experiences will teach you about an experience you may have a concern about. So, for example, it seems small, but it's connected. Friday, I wanted some chicken. Okay. And I went onto my phone and they told me that they had a promotion where I could order $25 worth of food and they would give me $20 off for a new account, an Uber Eats. So I commenced to utilizing one of my other emails to create a new account. Oh yes, I want this $20 off of $25. Yes, $5. That's how much I'm gonna pay. $5. Yes, I want to do this. So I proceeded. I went through all the steps, set up the account, yada yada yada. Found some chicken close by. I called up somebody because I wanted to do some other stuff too. Remember, I was preparing for this event, so I wanted to get some materials. So I called one of my neighbors. I'm like, girl, what you doing? Can you take me around the corner and I'll buy you some chicken? And she was like, girl, you forgot the card. I'm like, oh, man. But we still stayed on the phone, chit-chat, whatever. And so she told me the chicken was good. I had never tried the chicken before. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to figure out how to get my stuff from this other store. And I'm going to order this chicken. So I ordered the chicken, but the order would not go through. And I was like, I'm confused because I have the money available. Why is not the order going through? I don't understand why the order's not going through when I have the money. So they were saying stuff about my card. I was using my Cash App card. So I said, well, maybe they got a thing with Cash App. So I said, I got something for they ass. I know that I could go and get me a daggone Uber gift card digitally. So I went on to Target, got me an Uber gift card, put my Uber gift card in, so now I got Uber cash. I got $25 of Uber cash, but you give me $20 off. So I'm being able to put $5 towards this meal, and yes, I'm gonna have some left for another meal for another day, or maybe even for a ride. So now the cash is sitting there. The order is in the cart, and I'm going press, and it ain't pressing. And I'm like, why ain't it pressing? So then I said, okay, I don't know what's going on. Let me talk to their customer service. I had to talk to at least 6 representatives. Friday evening, all trying to get my chicken. I ain't gonna go into all the details. I did not get my chicken Friday. Ironically, my auntie, when she came to see me yesterday, brung me fried chicken for free. Okay? Ironically. Then today, I got my goddamn on chicken. And for me, what that told me was what I desire, I have. I may not have it exactly the moment that I want it, but I have it. So therefore, if I'm not getting it that second, that's not a denial. That's just a be patient. And so I had to apply that to another part of my life because I'm like, okay, what's going on? Like, I had all these questions. Am I just feeling the way I'm feeling? Because I'm a vibrant individual. I'm not the only vibrant individual, okay? There's a lot of vibrant individuals. Shoot. I sat next to one of the daggone bus yesterday, and I was like, they felt really familiar. We had a good conversation, too. They told me how they walked from one part of Manhattan, from the tip of Manhattan to the other end of Manhattan, which is only like 20-something miles. They made it seem like that was nothing. And I was just like, oh, shit. I need to get it together, because walking half a block, I'd be like, and here along there's people that they clearly, these people were a lot more seasoned than me, aka older than me, okay? Walking from one end of Manhattan to the other end of Manhattan. Shit, I'm tired just walking from the west side to the east side. I could do it, but I can imagine walking from the tip to the other tip. Shit. And they're like, oh yeah, And we went to London. It was husband and wife. We went to London. We walked 100 miles, and it took us 8 days. We stopped in between, yes, and we rested, and we did this, and we had somebody to carry our luggage, and so, but the vibration felt familiar. I was like, he reminds me of somebody. And so then here goes my logic mind, my personality. Is this really real? Is it real? The feelings that I feel. Tell me, is it real? That's how I woke up this morning. I woke up like this. That's how I woke up. And so there were doubts in my brain. And I asked these questions. And it's like, yeah, relax. And it is, because I was able to ask these questions directly. And I was able to just have a direct conversation. And it felt so good afterwards, because they're like, yeah, like, don't worry, like, I know I want everything that you want. I want the same thing, but this is where we are, and just be easy, like, don't worry, it's okay, you know, you got some chocolate, enjoy your chocolate. And I was like, how you know I'm gonna like this chocolate? And I opened up the chocolate and I was like, oh, you know what, never mind. Be patient. Exactly. I was like, never mind, you got that. I love this chocolate. How did you? Wow. The fact that you even somehow got this chocolate to me at this time. Okay. The fact that you got this chocolate to me at this time, sir. Okay, I ain't fucking with your shit. Like, I ain't fucking with your mystical shit. Do your thing. Hey, do your thing. So yeah, I was grateful. I was relaxed, and I got my chicken. So again, I learned that, yeah, be patient. Don't worry. But to be able to have an honest conversation with somebody is also just an amazing thing, where you can express yourself emotionally. And then I got all of the confirmations that I needed, you know, like, because it's different. It's different when you are with a mature, and I'm not saying just mature in age, but I mean somebody who has done their internal work within themselves. And it's the divine masculine. People talking a lot about the divine feminine, and I'm all for it. I'm a woman, obviously. So I am for us reaching our highest potential. But we need our men to reach their highest potential too. Because we can't do this shit by ourselves. As cute as it is. As cute as it is. I see some cute bitches. Yes, I said, look at them cute bitches right there. I ain't even mad at them. But we do need our men. Okay? We need our men. They are our counterparts. You understand what I'm saying? Just naturally, they are our counterparts. So for us to accomplish things, especially the great things that we must accomplish here, you know, for not just ourselves, but for all of humanity, we all got to reach our highest potential. The women have to reach our highest potential. The divine feminine has to be awakened. And, excuse me, the divine masculine has to be awakened too. Our men have to heal. Our men have to do the work within themselves. And there are a bunch of them that have been doing it. Okay? They're not outside being flashy and all of that stuff. But when you come across them, baby, oh, it's different. It's different. Especially when you've done your own work. You feel it. You be like, oh, what is that? And that's why that man felt familiar, that I had the conversation with on the bus with his wife. No, but for real. He felt familiar because he's been doing his motherfucking work. So she was relaxed, you know, like I looked over, I was like, I want to see her, you know, and she just looked at me and smiled, and I'm like, look at these motherfuckers right here. In my head, I ain't saying it out loud, you know. And I was like, look at them, and that's what it is. He felt familiar because he's done his work. And she's done, and so they're just having this union together. I like to use the terminology sacred union versus marriage. They just having a sacred union together and enjoying fucking life and walking from one part of Manhattan to the other part of Manhattan and traveling places and shit. And then once they finish their adventures, guess what they do? Take their motherfucking asses to their 20 acres of land and relax. Yeah. They shared that information with me too. So it's a lot you could get in a fucking bus ride having a conversation with a good soul. But yeah, they shared it. I was like, 20 acres. Wow. Wow. You know what I would be doing if I was on 20 acres, man? Do you know what I'd be doing? You think we going to the park? My cousin teased me. She be like, you be sticking your feet in that dirty grass? Girl, but baby, 20 acres, my feet would not be the only thing in that grass, okay? I'd take a cotton motherfucking blanket and act like I'm on the beach, and I'll spread that motherfucking cotton sheet on that motherfucking grass of mine on my 20 acres, and I'll be out there butt ass naked. Butt ass naked. But anyway, that's just what I would do. But again, back to the divine masculine, it's different. So we women, we could be our emotional selves, and they don't feel emasculated by us being emotional. They don't feel like they want to argue and debate with us in a harsh way like we're men. But they'll listen because they're in their divine masculine, and they will talk to us gently and shit. But for real, firm and gentle at the same fucking time, and we be shut the fuck up. We shut the. You right. You right. I apologize. Thank you for the chocolate. Thank you. I apologize. My bad. You right. I'm gonna be patient. I'm gonna shut up. And you right. I do got shit to do. You right. You right. It ain't you absolutely right. That right there, everybody deserve it. Everybody who want and desire to have it, we deserve it. And it's available. Just so you know, it's available. Don't think it's not. I know it is. And it's going to sneak up on you. You keep doing the work you got to do for yourself. I didn't finish the chapter yet, but it's going to sneak up on you. You're going to be doing your work. You're going to be growing and healing and evolving. Healing. It is no such thing as arrival. Oh, you arrived. No. As long as we in this human body, we're going to be growing and working and evolving. As long as we in these freaking physical bodies. It's a process that never ends. But you going to be just doing that, minding your business, and that motherfucker going to just pop up. You're going to be like, who the fuck is you? Hold up, wait a minute. Where you come from, motherfucker? Where you come from? Who is you? I'm telling you, that's just how it's going to be.
I'm going live at 8 o'clock tonight. And the topic is going to be Take My Hand.
Okay.
The reason the topic is Take My Hand is because I want to be able to talk to people, help people that's talking about suicide. There's a lot of suicide going on out here.
Got you.
So that'll be on tonight at 8.
Okay. You going to be on TikTok?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, that's I don't know anybody who's have went through that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
you don't even know nobody. You don't know the people that you talk to every day has contemplated it, and you don't even know it. I'm learning it. I'm learning.
Well, I'm glad you're being a service sister.
Yeah, I'm trying to be a service and stuff instead of cussing people out.
You know what? Instead of cussing them out, I love it. She said, let me help you this way, right here. Instead of cussing them out. Look at my cousin. She gonna live a long time. Hey, Doodle Jakes. I was telling them, Doodle Gen X, I was telling them how you be teasing me, how I be putting my foot in the grass. And I was letting them know. If I had my own land, I'd be putting more than my feet in the grass. I'd be putting his ass in the grass too. Yeah. On the sheet.
You see what I wrote? Fucking on all of them acres.
What you said?
Fucking on all them acres.
Okay, you said that part. See.
This acre get a little bit. This acre get a little bit.
Of course, Lala had to come and tell the whole tea, the whole business. Like,
yeah, we blow down here.
She's like, you ain't just laying out there just getting your ass tan. You doing more than that, y'all.
Right.
Show is. Show is. But welcome in, Doodle.
Hey, Doodle.
I'm gonna go back in the book. All right, I don't even know where I stopped at. Tree of life, knowledge of... Okay, yes. How we have access, basically, to get support in everything and anything. That's basically where I was leaving off and how I spiraled into where I spiraled at. But again, there is divine counterparts for everybody. Now, the tree of life, or knowledge of truth or wisdom, is an opportunity, an archetypical question. Adam and Eve, the male and female principles within the Garden of Eden, took the apple symbolically, and they misused the knowledge. Their choice was to misuse knowledge, and therefore they created shame. This was not a part of the human design up to that point. The misuse of knowledge, of truth, of wisdom, produced embarrassment and shame. That gave rise to guilt. Guilt gave rise to fear, and so began the evolution of the human species. The decision to take the apple was a decision of the higher order of evolution, an order that cannot be conceived or even grappled with in the same context that we would use to understand a human decision. To speak of decisions in terms of an individual human life, or in the terms of a larger body of individual human lives, is very different from speaking about how the role of evolution and learning began billions of years ago with the human species. Billions. I gotta say billions one more time, because they be trying to tell us, oh, you've only been around here for, a couple of centuries. No, humanity has existed for millennia, you lying motherfuckers. Stop trying to take the stuff that y'all got after y'all done burnt down those libraries of sacred texts and then freaking put them into another book and present it and say, here you go. This is the Bible. You just gonna do with this. There's so much shit into that, man. So much. But the truth can never be erased. So even though they control and manipulated mankind for some centuries, all that stuff is falling the fuck apart. And that's what we are seeing happening in real life. That's why shit ain't making sense, because it was false. It was false. The things they were telling us to, you do this or to go to heaven, or you do that and you're going to go to hell. Heaven and hell are states of mind that you're going to experience right here in the here and now, depending on the choices you make. So all of that they tried to tell us to keep us dumbed down and stifled, and all of that shit's falling apart. Our true essences are awakening in different ways, at different levels, in different forms, and we realizing, wait a minute, motherfuckers. I am that I am. Okay, and I have a right to decide and to choose what the fuck I want to be. And not only that, I got assistance. Like, I got support available. I may not be able to see these but it's support. And wait a minute, you send me other motherfuckers that's in alignment when we need to be aligned to achieve shit together? Oh. And that's why I told my cousin, I think she dropped out. But we was having a conversation because she's really upset with what's going on in our nation. Granted, those are valid emotions. Just like it was a valid emotion to be upset and frustrated towards the situation that I shared on here. But there's a higher order. And I had to remind myself, and me telling her and reminding her, I was reminding myself too. Fuck this man laws and shit. Fuck they bullshit and they circus that they doing right now. There's a higher order that they are subjected to. So while they try to subject us, and they can't unless we give them permission to. That's why they have us sign stuff. Put your signature here. Sign your nature here in agreement to what the fuck I want you to do. No. All rights reserved. That's it. That's part of my signature. You want my signature? I'm in my full rights. My full rights. Yes. And if you're trying to sneak some shit, it invalidates this whole contract. Thank you, though. Thank you for your services. Let me get back to this book. All right, where I'm at. The decision to take the apple. So basically that story is a metaphysical story. It's not a story of just one man and one woman. They represent principles. The man obviously represents the male principle. The female represents the female principles. They came together and they took this apple, which represents the knowledge, and then they misused the knowledge, like some people are doing in these different secret societies, groups, whatever, Rothschilds, whoever, what's the other ones, Rockefellers, all those motherfuckers misusing shit. Those elites, they've been misusing shit, and they better start they better start correcting themselves. Is all I'm saying. They better start correcting themselves, because nature will correct them if they don't correct themselves. Anyway, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. But anyway, let's get back to the book. The decision to take the apple in the Garden of Eden story does not refer to one decision that was made by two humans who really existed in such a setting. It was not a decision such as you and I make in terms of, do I choose this or that? The Garden of Paradise story describes the beginning of the whole experience of Earth and human species. And I don't know if I agree with the whole. I don't think I agree with that. It describes the beginning. Because how many times have we restarted? I don't know, but a lot. More than a few. But I'm going to continue in the book, because it's getting to a point. It refers to principles of energy that were brought to bear upon larger bodies of group consciousness that had stress, that had formation energies, creation energies, and their process of forming their own polarities that would become the polarities of the human experience. Doubt and fear stood opposing to trust and light, so they came into being. Yet, it is not inappropriate to understand the Garden of Eden story in terms of human choices between doubt and fear on one hand and wisdom on the other. Because the choices to learn through wisdom or through doubt and fear is very much part of every single challenge that every single human comes up against within every minute of every day. And this challenge reflects the dynamics that at a larger level of evolution were brought to bear upon our evolution. This brings us to the relationship between choice, light, and physical reality. And that choice is part of our free will. So that is the end of chapter 6. And our free will is the opportunity to choose. We could choose how we're going to learn. We're going to learn either way. So are we going to choose the doubt way, the dark way, or are we going to choose the light way, the right way? And that's where they misconstrued this whole racism shit. That's where they misconstrued and they was manipulating shit like that. Oh, no, they're not saying that this melanin is bad. They ain't saying this brownness is bad. That's not what was written in the ancient text. Even when they're saying darkness, they're not saying darkness is bad. They're just saying darkness is the absence of light. Not white as far as skin color. Light as far as consciousness, as far as knowing. Dark is ignorance, not knowing, absence of knowing. So what they did was misconstrued all of that shit, and we gonna use it to manipulate. No, our melanin is not bad. When this skin tone is not darkness really in reality, okay? This is more luminous than anything. Because look how we interact with just the natural stuff, just how the sun interacts with us. It's just, if you just pay attention, this ain't bad. This ain't bad. Don't let nobody ever tell you. So when we say, oh yeah, black is beautiful, we're saying our skin is beautiful. But ignorance is not beautiful. And this language that we're even speaking, the King's English, oh man. I tell you, that shit is all fucked up. Why is the color red and me, the past tense of reading, sound the same but spelled different? Okay? It's purposely fucked up. And to try to keep us dumb the fuck down. But we still rising. Our frequencies is still rising. We're still remembering and being who the heck we are. Like my good sister said, we have conversations like this all the time and just in different ways. Because we are speaking energetically. We are communicating energetically. We're not just communicating based on the etymology of these words that were birthed from the Latin language that turned into the King's English that is full of shit. We are literally alchemizing the shit and turning the shit into gold. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. That's how powerful the hell we is, melanated people, and how powerful humanity is. So let's continue being true to who the heck we are. I'm grateful for you to join me this Soulful Sunday. I did say now we're doing new things. And the new things are I start and end the show with music. So I guess I'm going to end this show with I'm going to end this show with another jazz song by Ella. Let's see if I can get into it. I still got Funny Valentine like right in the forefront. But I want to do... Okay, I got it. I know, it's acapellas. So I'm just going to start. At last, my love's come along. My lonely days are over. And life is like a song. Ooh, yes, at last. The skies above are blue. My heart was wrapped up in clover. The night I looked at you, I found a dream that I could speak to. A dream to call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to. A thrill that I've never known. Ooh, you smiled, hanging in their spells cast, and here we are in heaven. For you are mine at last. Thank you for tuning in to the SupaTea Podcast Show. I got to gizzo because I need to get my living room together. All that arts and crafts need to get together. I'm going to put it together. Thank you for tuning in. If you're just coming in, you can catch the replay on YouTube. Bye, TikTok world. See you next Sunday. And later in these YouTube streets, you can catch the replay Later on today. It has to process it. I don't know what the processing is, But what I will say before I end the show here, listen, if I mention anything that hit a nerve in anybody, it doesn't mean that you don't have the opportunity to work on correcting what has been done. You don't have to do things the way your father's father did things. You don't have to carry shame. You don't have to carry guilt. You can make a choice to forgive, to release, and to do differently with the resources that you have access to. You don't have to fear others being in control of themselves. We want people to control themselves. It is unnatural for people to control other people. We are supposed to work together. So I pray healing for us all, individually and collectively, because we all are on this planet. And no matter whether you got trillions or you got nothing in the bank, you are still valuable in the eyes of the all, of the intelligence that's in us all, flowing through us all, keeping our wonderful blue, greenish, brownish ball, aka Earth planet, afloat. We're all valuable, all of us, each of us. So please heal, please forgive, and know that you have the power and the ability to change the trajectory that has been projected on humanity for the last few centuries. We could change it together. We could create a whole brand new way of life, way of living together. So let's do it. I'm here for it. You can find me very easy. Let's talk.